Welcome to New York Giants Full Access. What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that big blue join button. Become a part of the big blue crew and talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk, no matter what people thought. And that's why I do this, because I'm ready to talk my talk. Man, this media is so toxic, bro. Like, when is winning football games as a football team, as a football franchise, as a coach, as a player, as an owner, as a coordinator, as a staff member, as any part of a football organization, is it bad to win games early in the season? Not later in the season, early in the season. When has that ever been bad? Well, I guess we got our first instance this year with the New York Giants. We're 4-1 in the first 5 games. Nobody even gave us a chance to even have a 500 record within the first half of the season. But we got 4 of those wins in our back pocket right now in the first 5 weeks of the season, and we're looking good. But not according to ESPN and the media. So I'm going to let this clip play, and then we're going to talk about this. But let's get into it. All right, this is from ESPN's Get Up. So get up out your seats or get your snacks with everything, because this one's a doozy. Let's go.
That's how Daniel Jones is going to do it. He's going to do it with his legs. It ain't going to be with his arm.
And he has been doing it with his legs and a little bit of his arm, but I guess the bar has been moved that if Daniel Jones doesn't look like Josh Allen, somebody on the field, he can only be mediocre. But okay, let's go.
Remarkable job of keeping your concentration.
Oh, no doubt.
As everyone up here is not the man is answering a question, for crying out loud, and he answered it right. I didn't phrase it. Can the Giants make the playoffs while overcoming the presence of Daniel Jones? But it does beg an interesting question. Our staff is littered with Giant fans.
Yes, they are.
Giants fans. And the question is, if the Giants make the playoffs, when you consider their future, this is a team that we thought was going to enter a rebuild. And they have big decisions to make on their quarterback, Daniel Jones, and on their star running back, Saquon Barkley, who's having a great year. In the long run, Dominique, as crazy as this sounds, might it actually be the worst thing that could happen to them to have the season it looks like they're headed towards?
Yeah.
What the hell kind of question is that? What are you doing? When has it ever been that if an NFL team makes the playoffs, that is the worst thing that can happen to an NFL team? Only the New York Giants. Like, this is crazy. So we would be stupid, dumb, not thinking correctly if our coaching staff and this new regime gets this team to the playoffs. That would be the dumbest thing we can do. Win games. What the hell do we play the games for? To lose? Can't you lose draft picks or get fined or even lose your franchise if they find out that you're tanking on purpose? But let's continue on, man.
Because they didn't pick up Daniel Jones' fifth-year option. He's going to be unrestricted free agent. Same is true for Saquon Barkley, unrestricted free agent after this. In order to keep those guys, you have to pay big money. If they make a good run, it's going to be hard to get rid of the quarterback and also the engine of the offense in that running back. They're going to tie themselves up to a quarterback who, at best, is okay.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know at best he is okay when he hasn't have best people around him, Mr. Foxworth? How do you know that? Has he played with great talent around him his whole career? Has he played with great coaching around him his whole career? Has he played with great ownership and GM around his whole career? Shout out to Dave Gettleman, though. Listen to The Miz. He has got a lot of our core players. But has he played with great coaching throughout his career like these other quarterbacks? Hell no. So how do you know if you put the best pieces around him, he's just going to be okay? How can you predict that? This is so stupid to me, bro. But let's continue on, man.
And a running back, and a running back who is great, but is still a running back and has an injury history, and also like the teams who make long runs in this league right now are not built around running backs. It's just
not true. The Tennessee Titans have made the playoffs consistently with King Henry. The only reason why the Colts were even in the picture last year was because of Jonathan Taylor. The Browns, the only reason why they do any well is because of Nick Chubb. Christian McCaffrey, when he leaves the Panthers, they are trash. Saquon Barkley will actually get MVP votes right now if the MVP race was going on. There's a difference between Saquon Barkley and those other running backs. Like I say, King Henry has the same type of impact on the Titans that Barkley has on the Giants. He's the heart and soul of this team. There's a difference. Saquon Barkley is the heart and soul of this team. And if you get rid of him, it'll be a huge mistake. But position of value on the running back, shut up. Dang.
Not something that we see in the modern NFL, so it could be a problem. I think they'd be much better served to maintain the flexibility of that money without either of those two players.
Kmart, you seemed put off by this entire thing.
And nobody ever says, what do you go get with that flexibility of the money? What do you replace Saquon Barkley with that money? What do you replace him with? Have you seen the free agent class coming out? Name the free agents that you could replace him with. Name the people that you could replace Saquon Barkley with. They never do that, folks. They never do that. They never have a plan about anything. These mugs just out here talking. What's your plan? You get rid of Saquon Barkley. What's your plan? All these great teams out here just winning without good running backs. I believe Austin Eckler is out there with the Chargers. What's your plan when you get rid of Saquon Barkley? Nobody ever has a plan. Nobody says you can get these two players and replace Saquon Barkley for this amount of money, and that's substantially less than what you pay Barkley. What's your plan? They don't have one. But this is the garbage that you guys listen to. Rip the heart and soul of your team away from your team and move forward because it saves you money. It's positional value. How about value to the team? What's Saquon Barkley's value to this team? Is it an A+++++++? Or is it a B? Or is it a C? Or is it a D? You don't get rid of A++++ players for positional value. You're just talking.
Thing so far. What's your take?
Because as great as Saquon is, I think when you have a new GM and a new head coach come in, they have to think long term. And I've seen teams, you know, like the Steelers. To me, we talked about Steelers earlier. Them going 8-8 and all that stuff, like that doesn't help you. Like that, just being mediocre in the middle of the pack doesn't help you. Be terrible. Get a high draft pick. Like you got to think about the rebuild.
So, is this what you tell your team when you come into the locker room? This is what your regime tells the team? Hey, be terrible. We're in a rebuild. Be terrible. Let's tank. Who's going to be that savior? Are we drafting Jesus Christ with the #1 pick overall in the draft? Who in this draft coming up do you say, man, we get that guy, we just going to go to the top? What is that saying to the players that are already on this team who come in, work their butts off, do this for a living, but you tell them to go out there and lose? What does that tell your players? What type of culture are you building in a locker room when you do that? I'm a first-year head coach, and I'm going to come and just tank? Why would you hire a new coach? Why would you hire a new GM if you're just going to tank? What are you saying to the new draft picks that you just got? What kind of culture are you building for those new rookie guys that we just got? You tell this team to tank. Are you going to tell them on the other side of it that, hey, we're going to tank, so you guys are just going to lose value in the league? Xavier McKinney, Dexter Lawrence, Leo Williams, Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal, Kayvon Thibodeau, Ojulari, Tay Crowder, Adoree Jackson, Julian Love, guys that are fighting for their NFL careers. People like Julian Love, who's going to be looking for a contract after this year. People like Darius Slayton, who's going to be looking for a contract after this year. People like Andrew Thomas, who's playing his butt off, but you're going to tell him to lose to where he's not going to get the contract that he would get if we made the playoffs. People like Saquon Barkley, who worked their butts off to get back on the field and say that, stay on the other side because I'm going to ball out this season and go out there and do it. People like Sterling Shepard, that's a spit in his face. People like Richie James, who's coming off a torn ACL and finally getting his shot to make plays, and he's doing well. Even the preseason Hulk Hogan, people like David Seals, who finally get his chance to play in the NFL and get some real snaps. You tell him to go out there and tank. What does that do for his career? What does that do for your team? Why? Because you don't like Daniel Jones? You figure that quarterback situation after the season. And guess what? You guys are saying this because if Daniel Jones takes us to the playoffs, you're going to have to change the narrative on that guy. And you don't want to be wrong. And that's sad. What type of coach are you to go in there and tell those men that work their butts off going in practice, going through training camp, all those damn practices and everything, going through preseason, and all of a sudden you come in the locker room, we gonna tank? To get who? So that one player means more than this whole organization? What the hell are y'all doing? What is this? Go tell the Detroit Lions, who get top draft picks year after year after year after year after year after year after year. They're right there in the same spot. Go tell the Minnesota Vikings to go out there and tank with Justin Jefferson and those boys because they got Kirk Cousins. Go tell them to tank, and that'll be the best thing possible. The hell out of here, man. Well, let's continue, man.
To honestly, you got to think about the rebuild. With the Giants, there's a future beyond just this season. And with so many question marks, them making the playoffs is great for the fans and our staff. I love it. But then a lot of questions need to be answered.
Is Daniel Jones their quarterback next year?
I think he is. But here's the thing that people are. Daniel Jones is not going to demand the most money of a quarterback.
He's not.
He should not.
You could literally get a pretty cheap quarterback that could help you with the way that Brian Daboll is going to run his offense. I will say this. If I'm going to keep a running back or draft a new, Saquon Barkley is a difference maker. And you can say.
Exactly. That cat is different, bro. You tell me the people you bring into this organization that replaces the heart and soul of your team and the immense talent that Saquon Barkley has. Everybody wants to say, oh, we're only winning because of Saquon Barkley, but then turn around and say, get rid of him. Make it make sense, man. And go, man, all right.
Whatever else you want about different backs, different this. Even if you had to franchise him for a year and keep whatever you have to do to keep him in your backfield, I'm doing that. I'm keeping it, and then I'm putting the pieces around it. Saquon Barkley is a different dude. I get the injury.
Yes, he is.
I'm telling you, that dude is not leaving my building.
All right, I have to leave it here because Heather and Paul are waiting. But we'll come back. Here's the good news.
Back.
Literally every conversation we've had today, we need to continue because the crew is just that.
But that's the whole conversation that I don't know what to call those people, man. To be honest with you. But notice the only two people in there that was like looking like what? And had something to say about it was Jeff Saturday and Chris Canning. Two NFL football players that been out there on the field and know the grind that you go through. Chris Canning looking like, what are you talking about? And Foxworth is a football player as well, but come on, man. He's trying to be like Ryan Clark. Chris Canty, Super Bowl winning champion, Super Bowl champion. Jeff Saturday, Super Bowl champion. They know what it takes to win a Super Bowl, and tanking ain't it. Unless you're drafting Jesus Christ at #1 overall, come on, man. One player is not going to make your team. Everybody complaining about culture and we need to change this and we need to win games and we need to do this and that. And when they do it, you say, man, we should tank to get a quarterback. What type of crap is that? What type of crap is that to say to your core players? What type of crap is that to say that to guys that are trying to earn contracts? You come to me with some bull crap like that, trade me right now. Get me out of here. Ain't the Miami Dolphins owner under investigation right now because they said he was tanking games? To try to get rid of Tua, and Tua wound up being the best thing for him when they put talent around him. And unfortunately, that's such a trash organization that they let that boy get hurt, bringing him back from a concussion because you needed him. The same person they was claiming that you was tanking to get rid of wound up being the best thing for you when you brought over Tyreek Hill. That's the stupidest way to think. And that's the stupidest way I've ever seen somebody think and tell your franchise to tank. Like one player's going to make something. Team football, that's what it's about. I ain't never heard no garbage like this. Only the New York Giants. If the Giants make the playoffs, that'll be the worst thing for them. That's all we've been talking about is making the playoffs and winning games. Now all of a sudden when we win, it's the worst thing we can do? Man, y'all better get y'all act together, quit listening to this media. That's why New York Giants Full Access with me, Big Pat Sports Talk, I created this to stop having to listen to trash like that. That's a horrible mindset. and an awful mindset, and a mindset that deserves to be punished like it should be if they catch you. You should lose draft picks for doing that. That's the perfect punishment. Take your damn draft picks. You don't pick nothing. You want to tank and ruin careers and ruin a franchise to try to get one player? You ain't even going to get that player. We going to take your draft pick. Give that player to somebody out there who actually deserves it. Stupidest stuff I've ever heard in my life. The worst thing we could do is make the playoffs. Shut up. Man, this has been Big Pat Sports Talk. New York Giants Full Access. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that big blue join button if you want to talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk, because you know I don't give a damn what they talking about and what they thought. Man, this pissed me off, man. Until the next episode, man, you know what it is, man. Peace. This is a Big Blue Crew production.